For our audience who aren't familiar with Turning It In, just briefly explain what it is that you do.
Yes, so we have a range of tools that are used by universities and schools to ensure the integrity of student assessment and also provide feedback and grading as well.
Yeah, so historically you've checked if people have been cheating, taking stuff off the internet and passing it off as their own, or that sort of stuff, but now you're turning your attentions to AI. So what are you actually doing?
Yeah, so it's not been a surprise to us, this. You know, we've been looking at this for the last 2 years, and we're speaking a lot to our customers as well, especially here in Australia. And what we're hearing at the moment is very much that while there's the policies or the use of it will be changing and evolving, people really want to, first of all, understand if they're being used. So we're going to be releasing a comprehensive range of tools. The first one will be actually to detect whether AI writing tools have been used in the production of the essay or the piece of work.
Mm-hmm. And when is that coming out, and how accurate is it?
So it'll be coming out in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
In terms of accuracy, we've a very high level of confidence of the accuracy in the labs that we've done, over 99%. Of course, when things get to the real world, we'll have to see how things need to be changed and adapted in terms of real world use. But we're very confident that we'll have the most effective tool to detect and have conversations with students in a classroom setting about the appropriate use of AI writing tools.
Okay, I'll come back to the discussion with students about the appropriate use of it, but OpenAI, which is the company which makes ChatGPT, this week launched their own tool actually to be able to detect it. But it's only 26% accurate, they say. Why is it hard to detect this?
So I think, I guess in terms of detection, how we do detect it, how that sort of works, you need to understand a little bit how the models work themselves. So the models, the large language models like OpenAI, they learn from a huge amount of written text, human text. In the case of OpenAI, it's pretty much the whole cohort of human writing. And then they predict, essentially it's a predictive model. So they write by predicting from what they've learned, the most likely next word. And so they're essentially the most average writer. They write to the mean that could exist. Now, a human isn't that predictable. So a human will, you look for deviations from the mean when you're trying to detect this. I can't talk about what OpenAI is saying in their detection. Like I say, from our perspective, in our lab work, we've got very, very high confidence in the accuracy. When it goes out into the real world, we'll have to see how that pans out there and what changes we need to.
How much interest are educational institutions showing? Because the reaction at this point in time in lots of places has been just to outright ban its use.
Yeah, so the conversations I've had over the last few months and before the launch of ChatGPT as well, I think there's obviously a lot of other range of opinions. Certainly in the higher education sector, I think there's a lot of interest about how these can be used both positively in terms of student assessment, as well as obviously some concerns around integrity. But universities have had concerns around integrity forever on plagiarism, on contract cheating. So they're very much aware of the steps they need to take to try and improve integrity of assessment.
And you talk about it being used positively. How do you see it being used positively?
So I think you can use it positively with a student in terms of a student comparing their own work with the work from a tool like ChatGPT. I think AI tools in general, further down the line, they have the ability to both write the text as well as interpret the text. So you can use AI tools to help interpret student writing and then provide suggestions about where they could improve, feedback to the student, feedback to the teacher, a much more personalized learning experience, if you will. Our focus as a company is very much to remain with human-centered AI, though, so this isn't about replacing teachers, this is about enabling teachers to focus on their most impactful work with students.